Hi there. Welcome, Facebook viewers. Thank you for joining us. This is Kat with Set Out by Kat, Next Level Staging and Design. And you want to watch this episode, share this episode, comment, ask questions. If you or someone you know thought that you couldn't buy a home in your retirement years because you had limited maybe Social Security and only so much income, I secured this awesome guest, Eric Bibel, who I'm going to have him introduce himself in a second here, but wave, Eric. Because a friend of mine here in Texas had told me about a plan that Eric devised to do just that. She's relocating. And I am just always so appreciative and in awe of lenders who think outside the box and have a can-do attitude and, are not just, looking for 800 FICO score with a bunch of money, lay down loan, which those are great. Of course, lenders love those, but I really love this solution that Eric has shared with my friend, and we want to share it with you. So without further ado, Eric Bibel from the Bibel team from Southern California, right, Eric?
That is correct.
Although I'm going to say right straight up that Eric is licensed to help you in Texas and I believe many other states, right, Eric?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So Eric, welcome. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know we have to watch the time because you have another commitment at 10:30. So we're going to be, respectful of that. But tell our audience a little bit about you and how you got in the business.
Absolutely. And Kat, thank you so much for having me. It was so great to connect. We're super grateful for our time here this morning and being able to kind of help share some very, very expansive knowledge to help people further their path of.
I love it. Expansive knowledge. Yeah. And we're grateful for you. Yes.
Well, thank you. So my name is Eric Bibel. I'm with the Bibel team at Neo Home Loans. And really our ethos, our existence is centered around helping people achieve the dream of home ownership and ultimately get out of debt faster than humanly possible. So all too often mortgage companies just push debt on consumers. And really one of our founding principles is around how can we educate the consumer to escape the debt as fast as possible. And with that too, one of the things that we come across all too often are people like the mutual client, how you and I got connected, Kat, around the fear, if you want to call it, of, well, I've just retired, I've quit my day job. How am I supposed to qualify for the purchase of a property? Well, in my years of doing this, we've identified some very, very key components that will allow folks to overcome that fear, most specifically, but also overcome the hurdles of being told no by a traditional bank.
Thank you. And that's, I think I shared with you, I had a recent experience where the lender for my client was telling them no on a solution I suggested. And we got a lender that said, yes, we do it all day long. And, and that's why I say, a can-do attitude can, make it or break it for your dreams. And I just want to iterate that, whatever situation you're in for retirement, whether, whether you have a boatload of money or you don't have a boatload of money, whether you're in a house, whether you're going to take equity out, maybe you're going to take equity out and pay cash. But what I love about the solution, as you call an asset utilization solution, is where you can keep your safety net and your nest egg in the bank, pretty much,
Absolutely.
And not have to pay cash at interest rates that, just historically low. It kind of doesn't make sense to take all your money and pay cash sometimes. Would you agree with that, Eric?
100%. And I mean, you touched on a very specific point there, Kat. We're in a period of time where interest rates are really the best we have seen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, we're seeing other financial markets, stock market, bonds, you name it, where they're rapidly accelerating returns. So if individuals that come to us have these nest eggs and they want to liquidate to purchase a home. Well, yes, real estate is an amazing opportunity, but the last thing you want is to exit a market on a rally like we're seeing right now. So, it kind of
So you're talking about like stocks and bonds are really paying high yields, that sort
correct,
of thing?
exactly. So, I mean, we could allow diversification to where your wealth expands on multiple fronts. So there, it's being able, as you mentioned, not having to completely liquidate an account and move from one side to the other side. So allowing people to still remain in their, asset diversification, but still be able to achieve purchasing of real estate.
So I'm intrigued by that. Share with our viewers a little bit what that would look like. I don't know what the average Social Security is. What is an average monthly Social Security, across the country?
I would say about $1,100 per month.
About $1,100.
Pretty common of what we see on a.
That's what you're seeing. Okay. Correct. So we all know at $1,100, that's not a huge amount. And certainly not to qualify for a home. So how does someone who has the national average of, $1,100 a month Social Security, maybe they have a part-time job. Is that what you're saying? Maybe a little bit of part-time income for some side hustle, possibly, but they've got a nice nest egg from one or two retirements through their, work years, career years. How would you get them qualified to buy a house?
Great question. And again, every individual, I'll preface this with every individual scenario is unique. So yes, really taking the time to sit with a qualified mortgage professional to be able to talk through your specific needs is going to be absolutely quintessential. With that though, I mean, a general rule of thumb is if, as you're talking, Kat, someone with, call it the average Social Security distribution, maybe a small part-time, call it 10, 15 hours a week in employment. I mean, really, we've helped clients with, $30,000 in retirement all the way up to, multiple millions. So here,
wow. So I hope you heard that, audience. Yeah, you don't have to have this huge, multi-million-dollar retirement to get into a home through this asset utilization plan. I love that.
Absolutely. And there it's, the opportunity to be able to expand this to all walks of life is really the mindset in which we've taken on. So here, going back to your point about the average individual, the average recipient of Social Security, and looking at the different options within their retirement accounts, we would effectively look at or utilize, if you want to call it, one of those what are considered qualified accounts. So IRAs, SEP IRAs, Roth IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, TSPs. So essentially anything that falls under the qualified criterion, we would take that dollar amount of whatever that account value is, right, and in turn, whatever income replacement supplement, essentially whatever dollar amount was needed to achieve the requirements within the repayment portfolio program, right? There we would then take that account, divide over a 36-month period, and that becomes what income we can use for the for the recipient. Wow. So here, so there's a lot to unpack there, but I mean, it really now becomes a mechanism for the client, not only as an asset, but also as means of income. So here, helping an individual, and again, the biggest fear that we get when folks come to us that, recently retired or in their retirement years, maybe looking to downsize, upsize, whatever their need is, their fear is, well, Eric, I'm not working like I used to. I'm only receiving Social Security. So being able to now work through what their portfolio, what, the hard work they've put into establishing that portfolio and allowing them to still interact in the real estate market is just extremely beneficial.
That's amazing. And in case you didn't catch it, and I was amazed at this, is the requirements to do, this qualification, spreadsheet algorithm is 36 months, which is amazing to me. Now I know that, the average person moves every, I don't know, 5 to 7 years, maybe 7 years now. I think the stats show maybe retirement a little bit longer, maybe the rest of your life, however many years that may be. But that's sounds so doable and incredible that you only need 36 months.
Absolutely. And it's extremely fair. I mean, in that regard. Now when we start getting into some of the higher priced mortgages, what are really considered jumbo, those qualifying criteria start to get more rigorous. So it is definitely, again, not a one size fits all.
Sure.
There are some programs that will need 180 months of continuance. So again, it's specific to the type of mortgage, the individual.
Sure, the size of the mortgage, the type of the mortgage, all of that. Now let's talk about mortgage platforms. Do all forms, conventional, FHA, they all would qualify under this qualification process?
That is correct. Every mortgage platform, so Fannie, Freddie, so the two conventional government bodies, so your Manila standard conventional loan allows for it. Any government, so Ginnie Mae, so that's going to be FHA, VA, USDA, they allow for this as well.
They do. That's awesome. And I think you told me this is not something new, and I've been, in all things real estate for about 20 years, whether it's design or selling real estate. And although I'm not a loan officer, you're pretty close to it because you don't have a home sale unless you have lending. So how long has this been around?
Years and years. And that's the most disheartening thing. I mean, it's one of the, common run-ins that my team and I encounter is, folks will come to us and say, yeah, I've been turned down by, a few banks. And, they are an ideal candidate for lending, somebody that you would lend your own money to, top tier FICO scores.
Why is that? Why would a bank not?
And it comes down.
And again, I don't want to call lenders lazy, but in every business, there's people that, as I'd mentioned at the top, who, they want to go the path of least resistance. Maybe that's their business model, but it's not getting you in a new home if you don't fit into that, particular model. But a bank, you would think a bank would, leave no stone unturned. Why would that happen?
I 100% agree. And honestly, we cannot answer that question. Again, we don't want to point fingers.
Maybe lack of training. And, just to put it, sometimes it's really, I know you've been doing this for a long time. In my business, I've been doing it for a long time. And there is you can't put a value on experience. And perhaps these people that turn folks down for that really just didn't have the experience. Do you think that might be the case?
That's definitely something that we have just over the years have realized, that it's, again, where it's a practice that has been there for a long time. It's when presented, the clients who have come to us in those scenarios are like, it's very, very logical concept. Why didn't my other person tell me this?
Yeah, you're like, why? I'm going to date myself here, but back in my yellow page advertising days in the 80s, when folks would say, I just don't have a budget to advertise my business, one of our little quips would be, gee, you're kind of like the person who winks in the dark. They know they wink, but nobody else does. You gotta tell people. It doesn't matter what you know and what you do and what you have. If you don't tell people, they can't benefit from it.
Absolutely. It's beyond true. And it's just, unfortunately, not all lenders are equal. Not all loan officers are equal. That is really the biggest takeaway. And on that front, it's, who you work with matters. And being able to, have the understanding, have the knowledge to be, put the clients in the best position possible. At the end of the day, we don't work on files, we help families. And here, taking that embodiment and understanding to the marketplace.
Yep.
That's really where the difference is made, and the ability to really have positive impact in people's lives on a continuous basis.
Well, you're helping them. Yeah, you're helping them with the next step in their new home journey, which is very personal. It's the largest investment probably that they'll make unless they buy a Learjet or something. But for most people, and as I've mentioned before, it was kind of a light bulb for me at one moment, when I was in new home sales, actually, that wow, people come to you and with so many really emotional, some positive, some negative, for moving. They're upsizing, they're downsizing, they've had a baby, there's been a birth, there's been a death, there's been a divorce, there's been a marriage. Think of the emotional impact on all those things I just spewed out. They're highly charged, highly emotional. And Absolutely. Then, my kudos to my realtor partners out there. If you're a realtor, it's the business. It's not for the faint of heart. Y'all are doing super right now with the market. But, again, it's not your clients aren't a number. You're helping them move into the next journey of their life. And you've got to put all the pieces together for them. But the critical part of it, I know one thing we used to say after a couple of weird experiences where we actually had someone walk the home, go to the table, sign the papers, but the money never showed up, is not when you close on the home, when you close and fund on the home. Yeah. That's when that journey and that dream begins with new home ownership. And it's critical, realtors are critical in keeping that all together. Lenders like yourself, experienced, knowledgeable lenders who think outside the box and, treat their clients as, the special, really experience that they deserve to have, not just a number, are critical, because without the lending, again, unless it's cash, but for the most part, without the lending, without creative lending, the proper lending, and the follow through, that dream doesn't come true.
Could not agree more. I mean, and you hit it right on the head. I mean, the realtors, God bless their hearts right now. They have and have had and will have some of the hardest jobs. I mean, they wear multiple hats. I mean, from, therapist all the way down, problem solver, home placement. I mean, you name it, they do it all. Yeah. And they do it with poise and great stature. So no, we're super, super grateful for our referral partners. And like you said, I mean, who you work with ultimately matters. And, taking that mindset is a huge, huge level.
Absolutely. And who you team up with, and sometimes that changes. If you've been in real estate for a while, you have to vet new partners, whether it's warranty, whether it's inspection, whether it's a lender. But your lender, that's been my experience. Your lender is number one, because he or she is going to, excuse me, have such a pivotal and impactful effect if you get the loan or you don't get a loan. So yeah, I love that thinking outside the box. We talked a little before, and I think, we're good on time. We talked a little bit before going live, Eric, about the Ability to Pay Act, and how has that impacted, let's say, another leg or arm to that solution, with the retirement, purchasing a home in retirement years?
Great question. So we're all aware, financial crisis, 2006, essentially 2008, the financial world as we knew it changed. So with that, a lot of the problems came from lending. Essentially anyone with a good credit score, they showed up.
Anybody, we used to say anyone with a pulse, Eric.
That very true. Anyone essentially could get financing, and in turn it created a ton of problems. So with that came a tremendous amount of regulation, and out of that came Dodd-Frank, and more specifically what's called the Ability to Repay Act. So in that, what's ultimately now evaluated when qualifying an individual for residential finance is not only do they have the means to purchase the home, so down payment, credit, but do they have sufficient means to maintain payments on a go-forward basis? So here within that, ultimately identifying under the letter of the laws, does someone's income or will someone's income be considered likely to continue? So with that, those rules around, as we discussed earlier, the whatever mechanism is funding one's income, will it be able to fund that income for the foreseeable future? And what's ultimately defined as the foreseeable future is for the next 3 years.
And that's something I didn't know. Yeah. So, whether it's child support, Social Security, a job, all your revenue streams, maybe income revenue from rental, whatever. That I didn't know, which is, surprising to me. Only 3 years.
Absolutely. And on that front, it's so that's one layer of what's called the Ability to Repay Act. So, another thing that folks come to us is, well, I've got great credit and I've got this great equity position within my home, but I have no, documentable income, if you want to call it. Well, how can we qualify? So there's other options that we can look at, what are considered cross collateralization, where we take an individual's equity position within their home and essentially leverage that into the financing mechanism against the subsequent property. And really, that's
not a HELOC. You're not talking about a HELOC, right?
No, correct. We're essentially taking financing on the existing property, and in a lot of these instances, these properties that folks that are coming to us own their property outright. Right. They're in a free and clear position, but want to transition into a new home.
Yes.
Realistically, this is a downsized client.
Yes.
And so what will happen, and this is typically defined as bridge financing. Utilize.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was that?
A bridge. Yeah, I know that term, bridge financing. Yes.
So here we would effectively take the equity position within their home and essentially leverage it against the property to the new home. So it becomes what's considered cross collateralizing the two properties to become one loan. And it's really designed for folks that don't want to sell prior to moving. So the non-contingent buyer that may not qualify under traditional means.
Or maybe, when I was in new home sales, we had a situation where they wanted to get into the new home in my community, but they weren't able to sell it yet. So we did a bridge loan. Now that was a short term, I think, and then they redid the loan. But you're saying it could be a permanent situation, just depending on how they want to craft it. It could be a permanent situation, especially, if it's a paid off home or has a ton of equity, and that would get them in a good position in that new home. So that's another great solution for, empty nesters, retirees, et cetera, who, may have a home that's paid off and want to use that, collateral or what have you to get them into a new home in a great position.
Definitely. And at the end of the day, I mean, the biggest takeaway from all of this is that if you've been told no and you really feel that there are options, chances are there are options.
Chances are. Yeah.
And really that's one of the things that we take a strong drive on, my team, my company, myself. How can we help as many clients as possible achieve that dream of home ownership? And here it's, if you've done the right things, you continue on the right path, yes, we can find a solution for you.
And I love that. I want to be sensitive to your time. We have about 7 minutes, so we still, have a few minutes here before you have to go to your next meeting. But what I want to encourage folks who are listening to this, and again, please share it if you know anyone, not only just retiring, maybe someone, or maybe yourself, you've been turned down or told, no, we can't do that. If you've listened, to the conversation, you can see, not to put anybody down, but maybe they just weren't experienced. They don't have the experience and or the knowledge. Reach out to Eric. Eric's information we will be giving before he signs off here. And this episode will also be on our YouTube channel. You can watch all episodes. I think this is episode number 37.
Love it.
We've done it 37 times. And so you can watch it on Tada by Cat YouTube channel. But if you don't want to wait, what's a good number, Eric, so I don't forget at the end, for folks to just call you directly?
Absolutely. Best number is my cell phone, which is 858-722-3226. It's either myself or my team. That phone is literally always on. So we would love the opportunity to talk.
Trust me, he answers his phone. And Jeff, if you could type that down, give it to us one more time. I'll have Jeff put it in the comments.
Absolutely. 858-722-3226.
Perfect. Eric, because people will, of course, watch this from all over. What states do you and your team cover?
So we cover all 50 states. Me personally, I'm licensed in essentially the Western United States. But my company and ultimately our team have access to all 50 states.
That's amazing. Now, are you a franchise or
No, we're a direct lender. So we're my bank again, and we're Neo Home Loans. We are a subsidiary of Midwest Equity, which is a private equity firm out of Illinois. But with we have funding capabilities again in all 50 states.
So again, I'm going to be sensitive of time here, but tell folks who may not know, what is the difference? You're a direct lender.
Correct.
Often folks, we don't buy homes that often. Even if you've had a half dozen homes in your lifetime, you don't do it that often. So there's a lot of language, and lingo and so forth. But you want to go with a direct lender, and many are what they call brokers. Is that correct, Eric?
That is correct.
And tell us what's the difference and benefit between going to a direct lender or a broker?
Great question. So at a direct lender, we are the primary source of funds. With that, we underwrite direct to what the government
stops with you guys. You don't have to go out. You don't have to go out and fish it out to see if somebody will take it and underwrite it.
Exactly. If the guideline's there, if it's a viable solution imposed on behalf of Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, which are the two major government-sponsored enterprises that dictate residential financing, if it's in those guidelines, we adhere to those guidelines. And with that, we directly underwrite our own files. So we do not farm it out to a secondary company. So it gives us tremendous flexibility and control in our process.
Flexibility, control, and a higher approval rate. Now, I don't know if this is relevant, but we hear that lenders sell out do you sell your loan after 3 years?
So we retain servicing of our financing, but like every financial institution, there are some loans that we do release servicing to, and there's no methodology. It just comes down to what the financing goal, what's best for that particular individual. Gotcha.
Okay. That's awesome. Great information. Again, if you're watching this and you know someone who needs to have some creative financing, someone who thinks outside the box, whether you're looking to purchase in your retirement years and have no or little income, or you've been turned down by a lender, I encourage you to reach out to Eric. His phone number has been posted here, and this will be posted on YouTube in the next 48 hours. Eric, I know you have another appointment. And again, thank you so much for taking your precious time to share your wisdom with us. It's so important in, real estate that you have someone who's knowledgeable and thinks outside the box. Is there anything you'd like to leave our audience with as parting info? And then I'll let you scoot off to your appointment.
Absolutely. Just again, as we were discussing through, there are solutions for folks in retirement years. We would love the opportunity to see how we can put those solutions to work. And Kat, I just would again want to say thank you so much for this platform. It's absolutely amazing. great followership, and more importantly, this was truly beneficial 30 minutes. I'm so grateful that you made the call and asked me to be on.
Me too. You never know. Divine right order. I was out buying some things from my friend because she's moving, and we started chatting. I'm like, oh, I need to talk to this guy.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Eric. It was my pleasure to have you, and I'll send you the link. You'll get notified because you've subscribed to the YouTube channel. And have a great appointment. I wish you success on your appointment. So I don't know how to blank you out. Maybe I guess you can blank yourself out, right?
Have a nice one. Thanks
again.
Have a
great day, Eric. Thanks again. Appreciate it. All right. Oh, I didn't know so much messy stuff over here would be showing. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. And again, if you know anyone, you or anyone else who's looking to finance, I was so excited to hear that Eric and his team work all over the United States to help folks get into a home. And, thinking outside the box is just close to my heart. I'm going to take this minute to really appeal to whoever's listening to this. Tell me in comments or reach out to me on a message, what kind of topics would you like to hear? At Kat's Home Chat, we've really broadened the spectrum. It's not just about, real estate and staging, although those are two components to it. And they're, those have subtopics very deep. But really all things home, selling, dwelling, even if you're just renting an apartment, really just the human condition. We're all connected as human beings and human essence, and we all have the same struggles and joys, potential and challenges. So if there's a topic, it doesn't matter what it is, reach out to me, and we'll do our best to see if we can, get someone who would like to share their magic and wisdom on the topic. And if you are interested, or someone who you think this would be a great platform for, we would love to talk to them to see if they would like to be a guest on our show. It's every Fridays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We try to do it so far live unless we're not available, and then we'll stream an old episode. But we do try to do it live because, anything can happen on live. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it informative. And as usual, stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay connected. And I thank you so much for connecting with us today. And go out and make it a great weekend. Until next Friday. Bye.